In the mid-1960s, a band called the Warlocks, sitting around trying to think of a better name for their band. And the leader of the band, Jerry Garcia, picked up an old Britannica world language dictionary, and he came across the two words Grateful Dead and said, "This has got to be it." And it became it. You have to indulge me a little bit today, only because my phone, I don't use it on Yontif. It's been like many days of Yontif, but when I see hundreds and hundreds of alerts as a rabbi, I will go check those alerts because I assume probably that somebody in the community has died when all of those alerts come through on Yontif. And in fact, I did start seeing, as I just looked to see what was there, the RIP, RIP, RIP for Phil Lesh, who's the bassist for the Grateful Dead, who died yesterday at 84 years old. Anyway, I want to say something about the name, because the Grateful Dead is about the most Jewish name a band could have come up with. When you look at the entry in the old Britannica, they don't even print them anymore, it tells a folk story, and this is a folk story motif that occurs all over the place, in which a group of people come across a corpse. And nobody will bury the corpse because whatever that person did in that person's life, nobody would take responsibility. And then a hero comes along and decides, I'm going to bury this corpse anyway. And that begets the name Grateful Dead. The dead who is grateful for being laid to rest, even when nobody would do it. In Judaism, there are two mitzvot that are more important than any others in the tradition, which say they trump everything else. One is pikuach nefesh, the saving of a life. No matter what else stands in its way, if there is a chance to save a life, you break every other commandment possible in order to do it. The second one is called Meit Mitzvah. It is the obligation to bury a body for which there is nobody else who is responsible to bury that body. The Talmud has pages on what happens to people in antiquity who would come across a corpse out in the open without family to take care of the burial, and no matter what other mitzvah or obligation that person might have been engaged with, you bury the body immediately. Meit Mitzvah, Grateful Dead. I don't think the dead knew this. I don't think they did. Look, okay, so Shabbat Shalom. You will have to indulge me a little bit this morning. I've rewritten my sermon in my head. We'll get there later. Phil Lesh did once say, he said, if as some savants of consciousness suggest, we are actually agreeing to create, from every moment to every moment, we are agreeing to create everything we perceive as real. We are creating our reality from one moment to the next. It stands to reason, he said, that we're also responsible for keeping it going in some harmonious manner. What we do here in this room is we create and recreate from moment to moment something harmonious that has been going on for a couple thousand years and will continue because we won't give it up. We rewrite a lot of Judaism, but we don't rewrite this book. We update it sometimes. We update it to reflect where we are morally and ethically. But the classical structure, the form, we don't change it because we are part of something harmonious and eternal. And these words, whether we understand them or not, though have a look at the English throughout the morning, these words hold us together. And so we're going to pray these words, and we're going to start with light. We're in the middle of page 150.